love, and life, family. It's your girl, Morgan Renee Myers, tuning in with you for another episode of The Exchange. Today, I have a lovely guest here with me by the name of Miss Jennifer Lesleigh Watson. Hello, Jennifer. How are you?
Hello.
So nice to see you today.
Same here.
So, first, y'all know I got to tell y'all about how I love connecting with people. I'm always networking. I feel like your network is your net worth. And just by knowing certain people, you can get so many opportunities handed to you, so many partnerships and great relationships that you can build. So I met Miss Jennifer at the Grove Street People's Market that I've been at on Thursdays in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's put together by some wonderful folks in the community, and we're pretty much in the neighborhood, and we all set up events. So there'll be people out there that sell produce and jewelry, and I got my oils and my crochet. And Jennifer, what was you out there selling? You had your daughter?
Yeah. So my daughter was out there selling $1 toys.
Yeah, she was hustling us too.
She was.
I bought a toy. I ain't got no kids.
Yeah. But I make spiritual bath salts and conjure oils.
A conjure oil? What's that?
So I'm a root worker. Right?
A root worker?
Yes.
Like a hoodoo one?
Yes.
Oh. Next, explain that to us, will you? Because most people get.
I know.
So what is a conjure? What is that?
Yeah. So pretty much hoodoo is not a religion.
Okay.
It's a practice.
Oh.
And within this practice, it came out of slavery, essentially. And so as slaves came over to the U.S., they wanted to retain a lot of their original culture from Africa.
Okay.
And so they brought that over and created this magical system to be able to not only practice what they've known all of their lives before they were stolen, but then also to hide it under the guise of Christianity, since that was really forced upon us, Yes.
So are there any things that directly correlate in, like, maybe things we do in Christianity or in the church that people that practice hoodoo?
Yeah.
You got an example of, like, maybe two things?
Well, there's something called the ring shout.
The ring shout?
Shout. So in the black church evolved out of hoodoo, essentially. And so that's really actually dancing around in a counterclockwise motion, singing and moving, and then as you look in the black church, you have the dance and the section. So that's how that kind of evolved and moved into it. It's really interesting when you dig into it. But the conjure oils is something that I make out of using different herbs and such. Since different herbs have different properties and bring about different elements and things and manifestations in your life, I make these herbs. I make these oils to help people to do certain things and manifest things.
Okay, so so we know that certain herbs are healthy for us and things like that. So you're saying that these things can help us manifest certain things just by putting them in some oil?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So nature's that powerful?
Yes. Everything is energy.
Okay.
Everything is energy.
Okay, Jennifer, that is really interesting. So thank you for sharing that with us. Yes. So tell us, like, where are you from?
Yes.
And how'd you get to where you are?
Yeah, so I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Say what? Right! North Carolina, Greensboro.
Yes.
Yes. 336.
What?
Hey. Okay, what school you went to?
I went to Dudley.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I know.
Dudley Pampa. Where'd you go after the A&T?
I didn't.
What?
I went to Georgia.
You was not the stereotype.
I know, because, yes, I got you.
Where'd you go in Georgia?
I went to Spelman College.
Spelman?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. HBCU. All women, right?
Yes.
Okay, what was that like?
Well, it was good. You had Morehouse across the street, and so it was always...
I always find black men around.
Yeah.
Okay.
I took a class over there, and they was always on campus. So we go figure, right?
Right. You're right across the street. You may as well be the same campus.
Right.
Okay. That's great.
But yeah, I went there. I had a lot of fun and decided to come on back home.
Really? What is it about that journey back to Greensboro? Because I too moved after college. I moved after college. I went to UNCG.
Nice.
And I went to Chicago and was in Maryland for like a year.
Wow.
And then I came back home and I've been here and I've tried to leave. And it just keeps bringing me back. So many people really trash Greensboro, like, oh, I'm leaving. Especially like on the artist perspective. They're like, oh, I'm over it, ain't support here. I don't experience that personally, but I can see what people mean. So what would bring you back home?
Yeah. So first and foremost, my parents were here.
Okay.
And they're getting older.
Yeah.
So I figured it was time. And I knew I didn't want to raise my kids down in Atlanta.
Okay, yeah.
So I said, okay, it's time. But I think that the area is growing, though. I really do. And it's especially when I came back and I saw downtown, and I was like, what is all of this?
They are really rebuilding the whole city.
Yeah, they are. So I felt like it was a good place to not only come back to do what I do in the midst of the Bible Belt, but to bring new life, bring a new perspective to people who are on this journey, who are afraid to open up.
Got you. So do you have siblings and stuff?
I do.
You do? How many?
I have 2 brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you came back. What was your major and your degree in?
Psychology.
Now, what was your thought? What did you want to do with that when you was in college?
What did I want to do? Actually, you know what? I wanted to work in federal law enforcement.
Really? For like criminals, you wanted to be a psychologist? Okay.
But of course, you know.
So you must watch all them drama shows with you want to. Okay, girl. What's your favorite show?
I like Neighbor Next Door.
Okay.
And that's on ID channel.
Okay.
And then also, what's the other one? Who the Bleep Did I Marry?
Ooh,
that one.
Oh my God.
And there's another one, I forget the name of it.
Because I be out the loop, so I be trying to hear so I can catch up on stuff, see what y'all out here watching. Okay.
ID channel.
Okay, cool. So tell us about the work that you do and like how you got into it. You come back, you got your family and all of that. So how do you get into being a conjure woman and helping people?
Well, I guess I really have to start my story back when I was about 13.
Okay.
When I was 13, I actually had an abortion.
Wow.
And during that time, I went through this whole spiritual transformation of understanding what is life, who is God, so to speak, you know, and then trying to understand everything that I had gone through. And so it prompted me and propelled me into doing writing. And I look back at some of that stuff and I go, who wrote that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you fast forward a little bit, now I go down to Atlanta. Being down there, I had a lot of eye-opening experiences.
Yes.
And so, I mean, everywhere, anything from like viewing the DC sniper in a dream, waking up and seeing like,
Wait a minute, you saw it before it happened?
Yeah. It was bizarre. And I told my mom, and she was like, "Don't tell nobody."
And then the news found out.
Right, because I woke up to the news the next day.
Oh, it was the day before. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know, my grandfather visiting me in dreams and understanding how I was traveling. It was just a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
That's a whole nother story.
Right.
But I went through this immense growth. So now it would take me from 18 to 25. And then at 25, I started doing cards and reading people and understanding how energy worked. And
now, how do you pronounce that word? Is it tarot or tarot?
It's tarot.
Tarot. Like thorough, but tarot.
Yes.
Oh, so fancy.
I know, right?
Tarot. Okay. I'm like, I need tarot reading.
Right. It's okay. I know people look at me crazy when I say it, and they're like, oh.
It's like somebody laughed at me one time. Like, I was like, I said, you do tarot reading? She was like, tarot.
No, don't
come for me.
Right.
Teach me a shot.
Right.
Okay,
you gotta be able to, yes.
Now, so all this is amazing. It sounds like you're having all these powerful spiritual revelations and elevations. Is this something that you have to work at? Like, were you praying a lot? Were you doing a lot of spiritual stuff? Or did it just feel like natural? It was just happening?
It was natural.
Wow.
It was. I've always been into genealogy since I was little. I love everything old. And so now I'm getting to the point where I am and doing my history and finding literally African ancestors.
Wow.
Yes.
You can go that far back on your family tree?
I went one line, and guess what her name was? Jenny.
That name has been in the family as long as you've been alive. Wow.
Yes. And so having that direct connection, and I feel like I'm about to start crying.
I'm about to cry. I was falling on the log and I was here before.
Oh, God.
Might have been Margaret like that.
Hey.
Had to evolve Margaret. Now we more.
Right.
That's beautiful.
But that's what prompted me into doing the root work and then the hoodoo
Okay.
connections to South Carolina, Charleston, things of
Wow.
that nature. But it's been a great path. And
That's
I would
amazing.
never change it for the
This
world.
sounds like beautiful, beautiful work. Now, are you also one of the people that identifies as like being an empath?
I
Feel
do.
people's emotions.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure I'm one of those. I am,
Yes.
because I can definitely take on people's energy,
Yes.
and it's the energy about me people are drawn to,
Yes.
and so sometimes it can be frightening. It's like, do you ever feel like too drained, or do people's issues kind of bring you down?
Yeah. Well, it used to.
Okay.
I had to learn to shield myself. And just like, I ain't taking that on. Can I curse?
Yeah.
I don't want that shit.
I feel that. Yes, I feel that.
And
wow.
Yeah, it can drain you down, but if you don't allow it, it won't.
Yeah, so like really learning to say no and set boundaries
Yes.
is important for your own mental and spiritual
Yes.
health. Yes, girl. I'm learning. So there was something you said before we connected that you were into speaking on sex ties and releasing them. Can we speak on that? So real quick, for those that don't know, I am a poet and an author, and I have a book called The Celibacy Chronicles that I released in 2017, and it focuses on pretty much your sacred space and who you share that with. And it's really a read for anybody. I would say I'm doing a relaunch of it before the year is out, and it's going to have it's going to be more of like a workbook. So I'll give some of my thoughts after each poem of like maybe where I was at in my thought process or time in my life. And so, yeah, but the whole thing is just understanding, energy, because sex is natural, guys. Like, I have women come up to my table, grown women. I have the book on the table, and a beautiful artist by the name of Derek Couture, she did the cover of it, and it's like a heart, but it's a labia, it's a vagina, but it's beautiful. And so women will see that, or they'll see like some of the poetry pins I have around it. It's a heart-shaped vagina, and they're like, oh no! And I'm like, ma'am, you have a vagina or a yoni. Like, you've birthed children, you've birthed daughters, and so I think this lack of conversation and communication about our wombs, about the power of sex. We really need it. So with sex ties, this is something I definitely speak on in my book, and with lust and all of that. That's why, so sex ties related to like soul ties, and how like maybe you could think of somebody and then they call you, or you can't seem to get them out your system, and they no good for you. That's what that is.
Yes.
So how do we work on releasing those? How do we even get them in the first place?
Yes. Well, it's a DNA connection.
Wow.
It is. And when you take on that DNA of another person, it doesn't leave your body.
What?
Yes. Sorry. But now, and I'm speaking from someone who's definitely been out there.
Okay.
So it is not a shame for
His
anybody.
name is my name too. We've had our day.
Yes.
But now we know ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And so it's not judging. It's just simply what it is.
Yeah.
And when you are with someone that close and that intimately, not only are you sharing DNA, but you're also sharing energy.
Okay.
And you're so close. I mean, it could be a one night stand. You're still sharing energy, right?
Yeah.
So being an empath, like you mentioned earlier, we all are we're natural empaths, so to speak.